ven acá, pull up a chair. From the kitchen and above, pulling close, mi vida, hear the laughter in the air. Matey has got the wisdom, and she's got pride. It's serving conversations where every tale is fried with life. So take a seat, relax, and stay, 'cause Mama Maria's got something to say. Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. From the kitchen and above, pulling close, mi vida, hear the laughter in the air. 'Cause Mama Maria's got the wisdom, and she's got pride. It's serving conversations where every tale is fried with life. So take a seat, relax, and stay, 'cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say.
Hello, everybody. We are here at Havana 1961, 100 Main Street in St. Peters, Missouri. We're here with Mama Maria. This is Serving Conversations with Mama Maria, with our guest today, DeMarcus Tunstall.
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? What's up?
And DeMarcus, there's a little quote I like that you have. When you begin to realize that your life is not about you, that's when true growth begins.
Yes, sir. That's one of my favorite quotes, man. That's one of my favorites.
It's something I've learned these last few years, and I mean, you learn that with children. When you have kids, like, you learn that's when you should learn that your life's not all about you right then and there, because now you have responsibility. But when you start giving to the whole world and you don't expect nothing in return, I do also agree with you. I think life in return takes care of you, but it all depends what you put into it.
Very true. Very, very true.
Mom, how are you? How was Thanksgiving?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's quiet after you left.
Well, a lot of people don't know when we visit Mom for Thanksgiving, with most families, they'll go and they'll spend hours and hours and hours with their family and stuff like that. I go, my son and I, we eat real fast. We say, I love yous. That's great. Have a nice day. And we bounce out. It's only because we see each other every day.
Yeah.
When I say we see each other every day, it's 7 days a week. And that's what my son says. I said, why are you so ready to leave? He's like, it's not like I don't see them every day, Dad. And I'm like, you got a fair point. You got a fair point. Plus, you had company, and they haven't seen them in a while and stuff like that. And yeah, they're good. So.
I mean, it's good. The only thing I didn't like is the snowstorm. Shut us down for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, that snowstorm's crazy.
Yeah.
I was out in it, though.
Were you out in it?
Oh, absolutely.
Were you here in Missouri?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was driving around, having a good time.
So DeMarcus, what I honestly can't say I know what you do, because I see when I see is you do a lot. You're an entrepreneur for sure, sure, 100%.
Yes, 100%, wholeheartedly.
His story is amazing how he started.
Yeah.
I kind of got a little glimpse of it.
Well, that's what we're here about. I mean, so.
Okay, pause, though.
Ladies
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. I got to ask a question. So, what I need to know is, how are we going to do this? How real do you want me to be? Where are we going? You want me to be silly? You want me to be playful? You want me to be serious? I can be serious too.
Brother, I want you to be yourself.
All right.
That's all I ever ask from anybody. That's all I ever ask from her. It's all I ask from myself. I'm eccentric. I'm crazy. A lot of people think that I'm on drugs, and really, this is my sober way of living. You see what I did there? That's my sober way of living. I can't. I talk with my hands too much too. It's something I've been.
Yeah,
trying
when
to
we go to
control.
radio station, he's like.
I got yelled at over there because I'm tapping and I'm this and I'm that and yeah.
And I'm doing this.
That's funny.
Pressing buttons.
Okay. Well, then it'll be real, uncut, unfiltered.
This is live,
unsilenced
live. This is
markets.
live on YouTube. I mean, I don't know. We have no, we have no
Mhm.
following right now. This is our second podcast.
And you brought me on. Oh,
Listen, I told you,
oh.
I don't be stalking you, but I always see that you're posting this and posting that, and you do a lot, man. And yeah, absolutely. I wanted to get you on here so people can know more about you, know about the things you do, know more about us, and I think you would be a good fit to flow with us today.
Let's flow,
So
baby. Let's
it's
flow.
Friday. It's let me fix this camera. You guys go ahead and talk. I'm sorry, don't mind me. I
I have so many questions.
you have so many questions. Go ahead, start it off.
No, I wanted to tell you his story because I think
All
that's
right, well
fascinating.
all right, let's start off. Like I said, entrepreneur. What is it that you do, sir?
All right. What I do is I do things. Okay. So let's go ahead and start kind of. I'm gonna go kind of to the beginning. Okay.
All right.
So once upon a time, I was a little baby DeMarcus. You gotta come back. You gotta come back. Come forward. So I used to work at jobs. I used to be a very good worker. For me, I have a particular style, a particular energy that I bring whenever I'm sitting, working, doing things. I want to do things the DeMarcus way. Why? Because I'm a brilliant mind. I know I'm a brilliant mind. So, in reality, I am great when I'm put into a situation. I can analyze the situation, see its flaws and faults, and then I can take that and create a new directive,
I love it.
a new perspective. Basically cutting out the baby fat. Okay?
Right.
I'm great at that. So, problem is I end up with managers who have maybe been doing this a whole lot longer than I have, and I'm like, well, there's flaws here, 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 here. There's no need for this, and doing those things kind of irk me. And I have a mentor here in St. Charles. Her name's Marlene. She's a beast. She's one of my mentors because you always have to have mentors. That's the people to look to, strive to,
Yep.
talk to.
Yep, absolutely.
And I, she's been around for a while, and I'll actually talk about how I met her a little bit later. But
Okay.
um, as I kept getting these jobs, and then I get fired from them because I'm doing my DeMarcus thing. For me,
Absolutely.
I'm like, if I'm producing and there is no problem, why are you trying to micromanage me? That's such a big deal to me. But here's the thing about it. I'm working for them. So they're doing the right thing, but I don't like it. So I decided I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. And actually, one of my favorite things to say is that my mentor actually told me, she goes, you are psychologically unemployable. And I'm like,
Oh,
that
wow.
is perfect.
That's cool.
That is
Yeah.
perfect. Because I really am.
Right.
I don't want to work for people in a sense where I'll work for people. I don't mind.
Yeah, no.
But I want to tell me what you need done.
Yep.
I do that.
Yep.
I'll do it efficiently. It'll get done. And from there I go.
100%. That's you and I are so much alike. So the way
You're like that a little
I
bit.
am a lot like that a lot. And the way I say that is there's people that write books and there's people that read books. Your employees, your bosses read books.
Yes.
You go out there and write them. What your employers don't understand is that somebody wrote those books also read a different book. But they read that book, said, you know what, he's right, but I'm gonna make it better and I'm gonna write my book on it. And that's what you do. And then eventually they're gonna do it your way, and you're gonna see it and you're gonna say, huh, I did that 10 years ago when I was working there.
Right.
I'm glad they caught up.
Right.
I get it. I get
And
it.
so, I had many jobs. I was a teacher for 10 years almost. Well,
Oh, wow.
in the teaching field. I got my teaching degree, mathematics, so I was instructing. Then I left there and I went to sales, car sales, roof sales, all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, I can see
And
that.
so I've done a lot of things. Like from here, I've done so many things.
No,
I've been blessed through that.
I can say, listen, I've only known you for a few months since we've opened here, but I can see on your face you're constantly traveling. You're constantly everywhere. I mean, I travel a little bit, but you were in Vegas and you were I think what, South Carolina or Georgia. I can't remember where you were. Somewhere.
What was I?
You-
Texas. I was in
Texas, that's what it was.
I was eating
Texas.
barbecue. I was
Yeah,
eating-
yeah, he was eating
Woo!
barbecue. Did you go to the tenderism place?
I went.
No.
I went to.
You know the guy I'm talking about with the tenderism? Goes tenderism,
I don't
throws the
know.
hat.
No, I don't know
It's in
him.
Texas somewhere. You gotta. I make
I
a little
went-
video that I copied him.
I went to Terry Black's. They said
That's him, I
Is
think.
that him?
The old black guy with glasses,
I don't
skinny
know.
guy.
I have no
Barbecue.
idea.
Was the barbecue good?
It was good. It was
Good.
the biggest rib I've ever seen. That thing was
Did it
like
fall off
this
the
big.
bone?
It was close.
Oh, don't say.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Nah.
I didn't wiggle hard enough.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. You didn't
That-
wiggle hard
that's
enough.
what it was.
Sorry, Terry. Yeah.
But yeah, seriously, it was solid, and I travel around. But okay, we got to talk about that for a second, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to tell you a little secret. I've actually been how can we say? I've heard some words from people. tell me I'm never home. They tell me all kinds of things, this and that, about me traveling. They're like, you're never home. You're always gone. You know, you're. And they don't realize is that based on what I've told you earlier, and we'll talk about that more later too, is that I created that life on purpose.
Yeah.
I wanted a life where my travel was very important to me, where getting away and my freedom was important to me.
Yeah.
And I had to design and be very specific in the choice words that I said and what I wanted. And this year was the first year, and I'm really excited to say that this year I was able to go somewhere every single month. How many people who work a regular job can say that?
True.
They can't because
can't.
their time is not there.
You're right.
They have been bought. Their price is their paycheck. And because I bought you, you have to work for me at
Right.
however you want.
Right.
So going back to the question about entrepreneur, why did I do that? Well, the reason I did that is because I wanted to get this energy of I want to be able to go when I want to go. I want to be able to, if my parents and my brother, if somebody needs me, I want to be able to take off and go.
Right.
And I learned that a lot from my mentor. I was telling you guys about her, is she was telling me a story about how like her son needed her in another state. She just got up and left because she's an entrepreneur. She can do that. She has that ability. And I was like, that sounds like a great life. But I wanted my version of what that looks like. I'm young. I enjoy sports. I'm athletic. I want to use this body while I have it for my best ability.
You do.
So I go play sports here and there, and I enjoy myself. Eventually, I won't be able to do that, and that's okay too. But at this moment, and I didn't want to be a person who was in a job for like 40 years, and they wake up, they're 50, 67 years old, and now all of a sudden they're like,
Regrets.
now I want to go do stuff and
Be-
travel.
No, you make it. That's American life, right? That's they teach us that you work till you retire. Then when you retire, you go off and live your life. Not thinking exactly what you said is that you already gave all your great years away, your physically great years.
Yep.
Don't say not your mentally great years, your physically great years. And I mean, I guess mentally too, because we do decline the older we get. Away to the working force because we've been bred to school, work, 9 to 5, home, family. That money needs to go towards your car, your house, your this, your that, this, that. We rely on the government too much, blah, 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 blah. And we don't travel because we are employer.
Yep.
I argue with people all the time. They'll be like, well, my job, when it comes to kids or getting away. I said, listen, if you die tomorrow, if you know this, if you die, I've said this about her, myself, even with our own business.
Well, because
Yeah, 'cause
a
she
lot
said,
of what he's saying, I did when I was younger.
right?
Remember
Yeah.
the traveling,
She
and I'll get into that.
she
too.
rode dirt bikes like amateurly, but with
That's cool.
numbers.
That's really cool.
Skiing. I
Like,
mean, scuba
my-
diving. We did so much when she was your age, my age, and our age. Like I tell you, my mom was the mom of moms.
No, I had my own business like you. I had my freedom. I had all that,
Entrepreneur.
and then something happened later on, and now I'm like, I don't even recognize myself half the time because of that.
No,
Everything you're saying relates so well to how I used to be.
no, but it's true because I do. I tell people that, and I told her, like I said, if I died, you'd have to replace me. Somebody would have to replace me. And she said, I would be devastated for months. And I said, I know you would, but regardless, business goes on no matter what. Just like our business would have to go on, corporate businesses go on. So those, you're giving up your time with your family, seeing people, missing funerals, things,
Doing
life.
things, yeah.
For helping
For
somebody else
people
don't
that
get
if you went to the hospital or died tomorrow or lost a
replace
leg, your job's replaced. You're sitting there going, wow. And all that time and effort you put in 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you get a 401k maybe out of it. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
When you realize that the impact and the imprint you left in a particular company can be replaced by someone, you realize maybe you're not as unique as you thought. And that's why people get replaced all the time in jobs. They get replaced by younger people who are coming in with more experience for less money. They can do that. The world has changed. It doesn't look like what we used to have. The 40-40 plan doesn't work like it used to. Give 40 years for 40% of my paycheck. What is it? Work for 40 years.
Yep.
To retire and get 40% of my paycheck or something else in that.
To go have to live on a fixed income
Yes.
or
That won't sustain
something.
you anymore.
Not anymore. Not these days.
Not these days.
Not
So
these days.
I made a choice. Like I said, I made a very deliberate choice. I did not want to end up in a place where I'm at the end or I'm still working. I have amazing parents. My parents raised me well. Sometimes I didn't listen when I was growing up.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah,
They raised me well. And My mom is finally retired after 38 years, but my dad's still working.
Wow.
And, he's out there hustling and grinding every single day. And, one of my goals, I think, for 2026 is I want to retire my pops. But I can't retire him if he's working for somebody else.
Right.
You
And
know?
one of the things when you retire him, make sure you keep him active, because that's what happened to my dad. He retired, right? And then he had no purpose after that. He felt like he had no purpose. So he went downhill after he retired. Okay, I don't know what's happening here, but okay.
Okay, these are quesadillas. Are you gonna explain? Come here, boy.
Come on, man.
That's
So you
my-
just sit food in front of me and take some and roll?
He's shy. He's shy. Come here. What we got here? I see
Uh,
Maduro. I see rice.
The first one's a
Picadillo?
shredded cheese, rice, picadillo, maduro, quesadilla.
No, I don't.
Oh, I got one minute.
I love that slide.
The second one is a shredded cheese, rice, croqueta with extra garlic sauce on top.
Well, these are for
quesadilla.
you because I'm good.
Holy
I love the I love it.
Napkins?
Yeah, napkins, please, and go wash your hands and
This is
yeah.
the greatest podcast ever.
But no, seriously, that's happened to my dad. My dad died very, not himself.
No, I
He
had a.
lost it after he
I agree.
retired.
No, my Papu had dementia, and it was that when you keep somebody with dementia home, or when they, what our her father, my grandfather worked till he was almost 80, and he worked. He was a master mechanic. He had a bunch of things going on in his life. He ended up working 20-something years for, I can't
The
remember the
auto
company.
auction.
It was auto auction in Florida,
Mhm.
which is one of the biggest
Orange
auctions in the
County.
country, in Orange County, Orlando, and all that. So basically, they repo your car, they take it there, stuff like that. At his old age, he was the main guy that ran the thing, but he ended up, before he retired, cleaning out cars for people and stuff. I could tell you some of the craziest stories that he told me. I'll tell you two significant ones. No, one significant one. I can't remember the second one. He brought home a Tommy gun. Okay?
Like a real one?
Real. In the
Okay.
back of this car, I know you're eating, but there was something splattered all in this car
What would that be?
from said brains. From that
Oh, my
said
goodness.
Tommy gun. No, it's true. It's a true story. He showed me the gun and everything.
That's not going to stop me from eating.
Yeah,
If
and
you've never eaten here, you understand
and
why I'm
he,
not
it
stopping.
didn't stop him either. He picked all through it and got everything out of that car. That man had jars, the big old water jars filled with coins. He had the biggest CD collection you could ever imagine.
Wow.
Because everyone leaves their stuff in their cars when they get repoed, They give you a chance to get it. I think 30 days. 30 days, and then after 30 days, old Enrique will come in there and then take your shit, your stuff. I mean, whatever. How is that? Which one is that? You ate this is the Maduro, picadillo, cheese, and rice quesadilla.
I love Maduros. I've always loved them.
Yeah. I don't have it today. I wish you were here not so long ago. I made a bacon wrap Maduro. So it's like a pigs in a blanket, but this is a bacon wrap Maduro.
That's right.
Everybody I served it to that was here was just like, you got to put it in the menu, you got to put it in the menu, continue. I do, because I put it on there and I pressed it with my sandwich press. Oh man, they had that burnt, perfect bacon.
I'm a little offended that you did not invite me to come eat.
I
the
might.
bacon. That's come-
Evan! Yeah, ask my little chef, my little side chef. My actual chef is in there because mom's out here, her sous chef. See if we have any bacon and Maduro. Tell them to me some
We have no
bacon
bacon.
wrapped Maduros. But yeah, no. It's funny. I was at a gas station where my girlfriend works, and then her boss sees our videos all the time, and she says, "When's my mom gonna retire?" And I said, I don't know, but I probably never. Blah blah blah. I said, I'm trying to. I would love the same thing like you. I would love for get her retired so she go in an RV somewhere and go screw off and go live her life.
Shut up.
Yeah, we talked about that,
See, yeah, I would love it. And then she goes to me, she goes, "Who are you kidding?" She said, when you're her age, you're gonna be the same way. You act like you could sit still. And I'm like, you're right, but I don't want to work. I want to live.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
big difference.
There's a huge difference.
I see majority of America because of her and myself. Like she traveled most of the country when I was growing up, and then when I became an adult, I did the same thing. I took my own reins, and I've lived in a lot of states. I think there's 3 or 4 states I've not visited yet, and that's it for the whole 50. Like there's only 3 or 4, and really it's Oregon, Washington, Maine, and Alaska, and Hawaii. So those 5. If I can get those damn 5 on the corners, I'd be done with America, and I can continue on for the rest of the world. Because that's what we don't understand. There's a whole world out there.
I have been to more places outside of the country than I have been inside the country.
Wow, see,
State-wise. And I look at that, I was like, who can say that?
not me, not
And
me.
it started off as a really, when I tell you that I believe in God, like wholehearted, like that's my dog. Like
Right,
straight
right.
up, like I know everything comes through and for me through him, and I love that. And so many great things have happened to me. One of the things that happened was I was able to travel around the world. There was a lady, her name was Linda, was my homie. I love her to death. And she was an older lady. She had a stroke, and her husband and her didn't have any kids, so they used to travel. The long story short of this is that my friend started working with her. They asked if anybody else wanted to travel with those two. I was like, sure. I was in college. I'd never been anywhere. And then I started traveling with them all over the world. And Linda used to love to go see all the things. We'd go on cruise ships and see all kinds of different countries.
That's
And,
awesome. That's
who
awesome.
can say that, they've been out there and experienced
That's
life
it.
like that? And like I said, we all get the same 24 hours. The question is, what are you going to do with it?
That's it.
I just don't want to do mine sitting at a desk, punching paperwork, and getting yelled at for somebody saying, hey, where's DeMarcus? Or just because I need to go to use the restroom. I
Well,
don't
what
want
do you
that either.
mean? You get that 1 week or 2 week paid vacation a year, so 7 to 14 days out of 365, you get to go enjoy yourself somewhere. That if
Yeah.
if you don't have life's bills in your way.
And I get to enjoy my weekends sometimes.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes,
so cool. Oh my,
sometimes,
that's so
yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's a good time.
the good thing about it is that the more work you put in, the more money you make. So the more hours you give somebody else.
Right? More
Yeah.
tax you pay.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, we're not talking about taxes. Cut that part out. Cut that part out.
I know you're 100% right. This is another reason I wanted to bring you on a guest on this show is because my like-minded people, like her, like myself, like you, that's how we also think. Hell, we've been here in Missouri for almost 7, 8 years now.
That's
Woo! It's the longest I think I've ever settled my feet somewhere alone in my adult life,
Yeah.
let alone
Right.
my child life since my early days in New York. Like her too. I keep telling her every year, I'm like, why are we still here? Like, no offense, I love Missouri. Do not get me wrong, I love it here. I really do. I think the people are just one of the nicest people in the Midwest. But there's so much out there, and it's not that I get bored. It's just I get bored. And you know what I like about Missouri? I will say this. I do
What
like
do you
this
like about misery?
location. 5.5 hours, I'm in Nashville.
Yeah, I
Five
got
and a
it.
half hours, I'm in
Yeah.
Chicago.
You can
10
fly
hours,
anywhere.
10,
Yeah.
11 hours, I'm at the coast. I mean, I will say the Midwest, right in this spot alone, it is a good, if you like the country living, to get away from it all, and you don't mind driving half a day somewhere, this is a good spot.
Plus, we have one of the greatest airports.
yeah.
Okay.
It's like it's an international airport.
Well, yeah.
So it's a big little airport. I can walk
I
in.
say it's a
almost
big
any
little
time.
airport. It's a little airport for an international
Yes.
airport.
So I can walk in at any time
And not
be
worry about it,
through-
right?
Be through, check, TSA and everything else in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes.
No, it's funny you
So
say
crazy.
that. This year alone, I've taken, I think, 3 times a friend to the airport, and their flight's at 6 in the morning, including myself, to go to New York. And you get that old school thinking, oh, you got to get there 2-3 hours above, blah blah blah, and that's what they would tell me the first 2 times I took them. And finally, when I went, and I've done this every time, every time I know what you're talking about. You get there early.
Right there.
Next thing you know, you're like spending $50 getting water and some peanuts, or $13 Starbucks because you're there too early and you got nothing to do for an hour and a half.
Yes, exactly.
No, you're right. St. Louis is well, that's because. So here, I'll ask the question I ask everybody else. When they fly into St. Louis, what are you flying here for? What besides the arch? Let me take that one away because everyone always gives me the same answer. Like, well, the arch. All right, cool. Yeah, I give it to you. You guys have an arch. I ain't seen that nowhere else.
Right.
So I
Yep,
will
no.
give I will give you that. Now, besides that, they try to tell me the zoo.
That was the next thing. Yeah.
All right, cool,
The aquarium.
cool. I've been to a lot of states and cities that got aquariums and
So look,
zoos.
man,
What
our
makes
zoo
our?
is the biggest free zoo in the I think it's the U.S.
I thought
Maybe
San
the
Diego was free.
world. I don't know, but it ain't big as us.
San Diego ain't bigger than yours.
No, we ain't. Heck no,
Okay,
man.
I don't
We got
know.
the biggest zoo.
All right, I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
Chat PT,
Uh,
TTT, TCP, GG.
Chat GPT, or you can
Yes.
call him Chat. That's what I like to call him. Oh.
Is this it?
Here you go, some bacon
What
Maduros.
do you want to drink? We got Coke.
Water be
Water.
great.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
See,
Bacon wrap Maduro.
thinking
Let's
about
go.
what
Hey, Chad, what's the biggest free zoo? Sorry, Mom, in America?
No problem at all. I've got you. Just let me know what you like to chat about, or if you need.
You go ahead. I'm gonna ask a question.
I was gonna say, what you're doing now in your life right now is great. My philosophy back then was I work for 6 months, I travel for 6 months because I had friends that do the same. So when I was younger, before I had him, and even after I had him, we did that because I said to myself, when I get older, I might not be able to do this.
Right.
So I did all that. And now that I'm this age now, I'm thinking to myself, okay, I did all that fun stuff and everything, but now I'm like bored. Now I'm
Oh.
like, where am I gonna? I want to continue that
Thank you so much.
because I've done it. I want to continue it, and I feel like I can't, because I'm bogged down with the farm, my other company, this place is still growing, but it's struggling. We're struggling here because it takes a good 2 years to get something going.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that any new business takes about 2 years in the red before you're like,
Yeah.
if you're good, full motion, just going, going, going. I mean, you could go off the bat and be really good, but I told you. And that's one thing. That's one thing that our business strives on is the food, and everyone agrees.
And like for instance, one of the things that I'm going to do that I've talked about before that it's interesting to me that I would enjoy is next year I want to do, as long as we're here still, I want to do a chef throwdown.
I heard that.
Yeah. Chef
versus home chef versus
Saying the
me.
Marcus, you should challenge her to some Cuban food. She keeps asking for somebody to challenge her.
Oh.
I know you can cook, so I mean, this might be the lunch.
But I thought
right
I thought that'd be really cool. Get the newspaper involved, you get the magazines involved. A year in advance. And get everything going.
And it's not so.
There's
You said the word struggling, so I need to throw that in there because I don't. It's not that we're struggling. Our reviews speak for ourselves. The food is on point. You can attest.
Man, this
I
food's
mean,
so good, bro.
I
It is
will
so good.
say.
By the way, let's do a quick plug. If you've not been to Havana 1961, you have not been here. Oh my goodness! I posted the first day I came here.
2 days in a row.
Why you gotta call me out, man?
'Cause
I had a fat kid moment, man.
That's how I reminded everybody who you were. I said the guy that came here and ate 2 days in a row and posted every single thing we had, and everybody was like,
everything.
Marcus.
Okay, so look, I came in here. I didn't know what I wanted. I knew I wanted Cuban food. First of all, Cuban food in St. Charles, St. Charles, St. Peter's is rare. All of a sudden, I looked it up and said, oh, there's a place. Let me go try it out. Because my bosses at my old job, which I'm still cool with, they're like, go try it out. I go there, I come in, this smell. I was like, oh, that's it, right? So I was like, I don't know what I want. I was like, well, let me try one of this and one of that. And then I got two things. I ate so much that day, it was crazy. So if you haven't been here, this place, like, I feel like I'm family, even though I'm not family. I mean, I'm a brother from another mother. I'm pretty sure one of these hats might be mine, but I don't know. But highly recommend. This place is fire, straight up fire. Like, I thank you for what you've done with me. I mean, so funny story. We actually discussed. So I walked in as a customer, and then we started talking, and then next thing you know, I'm like the bro from another Mo. You know what I'm saying? Mo, Missouri.
I sat right next to him, I think, for an hour and a half.
You've been talking about him forever.
Well, yeah, he made an impression on me.
So I missed you guys by a couple. We talked about it, a couple months. I moved during COVID out to Warrington.
Yeah. He heard about us.
You guys. Oh, cool, Cuban food. And by the time I got a chance to go out, you guys were already gone.
Yeah.
So how cool is that? That this is where
Circling back all these years later.
I knew about you. So, oh yeah, I heard it. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
He got to try our food and even better than what it was then. Our food's even better now than what it was then. But no, the problem with the struggling part, it's location, man. I love St. Peter's, but this part of St. Peter's, we have no parking.
Yeah, you really
but the
don't.
parking is better than most places.
Wait, what do you mean? My car's parked out front. Your car's parked out front.
I'm parked out front.
And he's parked out front. There, all three parking spots are parked up. Now, guys, the park is right behind us. Like, we have a street right behind us. The ballpark, the whole, the city park too. There's a park there. You can park there and walk here. There is plenty of parking there, but people don't see that. It's what you see, But that's why I think that's one of our biggest things is that a lot of people still don't know that we're here. A lot of people still don't know that we're here. Even people that work here in
True.
St.
When
Peters.
we are on the TV on Channel 2 News,
Yeah.
people come in and they're
Every
like,
time.
we didn't know you were here.
Well,
Yeah.
every
All
time.
new people.
And there's millions here in from here to St. Louis and all that. And yeah, they just don't they're missing out, man.
But that's good.
They're
though.
missing out. Yeah, it's
So
great. Yeah.
imagine that you're doing what you're doing without even fully being known yet. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Right.
That's a brilliant. Like something's coming.
Right.
It's gonna be a wave.
No, we do. We have she has a thing. You know who Monica Adams?
Mhm.
Monica Adams is maybe not. She was the head anchor on Channel 2 for a long time,
Okay.
and now she has her own thing going on. You know, her own shows and stuff like that. But she's got her coming on for
Tuesday.
a cooking segment
wow.
for an hour on there, and then they want to do an hour life story on her too. So, you know, I
Look
don't.
at you.
Yeah, I don't like people don't understand. You've tasted all the food. You've tasted all the food. People don't understand
Well-
that she is available. Like she has the ability to be up there with some of the master chefs in this world, like Gordon and all them. Because, hey, I don't know any really super popular Cuban chefs you see anywhere.
Well, and also
you
people
know?
come up to me and like, hey, I'll be out in the most random place. Hey, Mama Maria. I'm like, all right.
That's awesome.
The other day here, can I have your autograph? And I was just talking, we were joking. I was like, yeah, I took it as a joke. I started walking away. He goes, wait, what about my autograph? I said, oh, you're serious? He goes, yeah, I'm serious. Right here.
I told her, I said, there you go. He might have the first autograph ever of
Ever.
Mama Maria.
Other than the banks. That's the
Other than the
first
banks.
autograph ever.
But that took me, but it always takes me by surprise. I'll be at Walmart
so
somewhere.
I will say so I just had a birthday in October.
Birthday.
October 17th, thank you. And every year I give myself new challenges and stuff like that to overcome when it comes to myself. This is something I've been doing the last 5 years. Well, this year is breaking things that make me uncomfortable. I have terrible stage fright.
Okay.
I'm such a, you've met me, and you would think that, oh man, this guy can
Yeah.
just, be in a room and blah blah, and I can once I'm comfortable.
Can we talk about Mr. Downs?
But I have this voice that I do, like, hello guys, how are you? Jim Downs, here's my radio voice. Anyway,
Very nice.
yeah.
So that's when I'm using that voice, I'm on sales calls.
See?
I'm not DeMarcus.
Yeah.
See, I told
I'm
you.
Mark.
use
No,
it.
I know. It's characters, and we all have characters.
We
That's
have to
that's
play
how you
that.
have to have this world.
Yes.
But uncomfortableness is something I've been since my birthday. That's uncomfortable talks, uncomfortable situations, things I usually will avoid. I've said, you know what, I'm doing it. Like this. I would never, a few years ago, I would never do this. Which is funny because I have a TikTok out there, which is like the most ridiculous TikTok ever because I'm weird. I told you I'm weird. Well, I did transitions. I have one where I pick up a Captain America shield, I throw it in the air, I catch it. I'm in Captain America underwear. And I'm like, oh, and I walk off the stage.
So
Yeah,
bad, so
they're bad. They're cringe. They are so cringe, but I don't care. If the people that know me know I don't care. Like she'll tell me customers this or customers that. Now, not to be rude, but sometimes I'm like, I don't care. Like they'll say, well, can they have it without this? No. Like what? It's cooked with that. How do you want me to take it out? It's not. If you care too much of what people think about you, then you're gonna constantly want to try to get people to. You're gonna try and make yourself someone you're not. I try to be a genuinely good person, no matter how weird, how many crazy I may seem. I try to do it all for good things. I don't talk bad about people. Hell, I've actually gotten crapped on here recently for trying to be a good person.
That's
Like
nice.
I love it. Like I've gotten to myself to the point where they used to talk bad about me about my attitude or this or that, and I've changed everything that I wanted to change about the bad stuff that people didn't like about me. That I agreed with them. I said, you know what, you're right. I may say things that are out of character, stuff like that. And so to be a genuinely good person, you can't contradict yourself. Because how are you going to tell somebody to live their life this way, but then not live your life that way? I can't be a hypocrite. I can't contradict myself. And that's something my brain and me have been arguing over. And so when I finally got to the point I knew that I was on the right track is when, James and his righteousness, or James and his is trying to just be better than everybody. Well, I'm not trying to be better than anyone. I'm just trying to be better. And now that you're crapping on me for it, I know I'm doing better.
I was gonna say that's your confirmation right there.
What happened yesterday with my hug?
I
You
don't-
freaked out.
I don't like being
You
touched.
freaked
I
out.
don't like
I
being
wanted
touched.
to
I
hug
don't
him,
like
and
being
he freaked out. Like he freaked out on me.
I don't know if I'm autistic or what it is. I have
Even mom?
I will hug her, but then she like does this like weird hug where her hands go up north towards my nipples, and and it's not anything weird. It's just the way the feeling. I just couldn't. My body won't fit, and I had to throw on her grandson. I said, grandson. I said, Evan, come here, hug your grandma.
No.
Uh,
Sorry. My bad. I'm good. I'm good. So,
Let's get back to the story.
funny story about what you just said. I remember as a child, we'll say as a young adult,
all right.
I was kind of vulgar. A little vulgar, man.
Yeah,
I was that vulgar guy.
Same here.
Cussing, everything else. And one day I decided, it's like, yo, so if I want to be worth following, I have to create a persona or a person, be the person that is worth following. And so I stopped my cussing, and I started doing things a little bit differently. And I remember like people used to make fun of me because I was like, oh, look at this dude, same thing. I get it.
Yeah.
But in the reality, like the change that came from here to there is the reason that I'm even allowed to be on this podcast right now.
Yep.
Because I had to go to a different place and grow through that place to end up being that person that I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, well, why'd you stop cussing? You don't have to stop cussing. I'm like, well, because I don't want to say something that could offend somebody's kids.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's because I'm a teacher or because I was a teacher. I don't want to offend somebody's kids. I want someone's kids to follow me. Like, I want parents to like, yo, hey, turn on DeMarcus. He's going to help you to learn how to, heal through this. He's going to help you to learn how to make this money.
I grow. Yeah.
So if I'm eliminating or alienating people just from my words itself,
Right.
I was like, I can't do that. I have my message too powerful. God's giving me a great message. So I can't just go out here because I want to, be vulgar. So I changed that. And now it feels weird if I cuss or something, it feels weird.
Yeah.
Like, so then now I know, I was like, okay, so that was a choice I did. I made a choice to do it. But life is choice.
Right.
So you said that you chose to work for 6 months and then vacation for 6 months.
Yeah.
I chose, I don't want to work, I want to work when I want to work and when I'm going to go. That was choices, and we were very deliberate on the choices that we make. You made the choice to, speak more and to be, a different person. You grow and become righteous.
Right.
We made these deliberate choices, which create deliberate solutions and answers and results. But the problem is, a lot of people don't want to make deliberate choices. They don't realize that what people want to do is they want to stay in that little comfort bubble right here. So they're in their comfort bubble, and that's great. I'm not knocking the comfort bubble. But inside the comfort bubble, you keep your life so you have minimalistic, any type of resistance or uncomfortableness, you just keep it like that.
Yep.
And then as long as everything else falls in the bubble, you're fine.
Yep.
I might have to pay a little bit more in taxes, okay. I may not be able to pay my bills, okay. I may, this, that, and the other, but you're creating this life. You choose that.
Yep.
For entrepreneurs, we choose a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
They want something.
Kitchen.
They want something a little bit different, and I get that wholeheartedly. And I want people to win, but you also can't force anybody to win. And that's a big thing for me is I'll gladly, I used to try to, I used to try to give it to people, shove it down their throats, da, 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 da. But now I'm like, yo, you sure you want the truth?
Yeah. No. So, real quick, and then we'll take a little commercial break. Since Mom has been needing in the kitchen, but that it's the same thing as that whole flight or fight theory or thing. I tell people this all the time. When you live your life and the same things keep happening, and you have two choices, you can either fight it or run away from it. Most people run away from their thing. They don't ever deal with it head on. And then they wonder why the same things keep happening. Because God gives you lessons until you learn them.
Correct.
And so when you finally head on those issues and you tackle them and you look at them and you say, it's because of my actions is why I kept continuing. It's a mindset. It's that mindset. It's that mindset. All right. With that said, guys, we're gonna take a break, a pause.
When we come back, I'm gonna tell you the dog story.
The dog story. Okay. And when we also get back, we're gonna learn more about you. I want to learn about cash flow. Because when I first saw that, I didn't know if it was a board game, and then I started watching. It's more than just a board game, but people I think should hear about that. Yeah, and I'm sure Mom has a bunch of things too. So we'll be back, guys. I'm gonna pause. All right, thank you guys. Sorry, we had some kitchen stuff. Plus, I want to give him more food. Man, you ate that shrimp real fast.
Man, shrimp is gone.
I have a new breading with my shrimp too. I love that breading. That
noticed
breading
that.
is
Is this a new one that I know of?
This
It's
is
more of a
no.
cornmeal. Corn.
This is more of a cornmeal
Yeah.
breading.
Tasting that.
No, it was when we went to that vendor show.
Mhm.
I found one and
Oh, they gave you samples.
they gave me sample. I tried it there. I fell in love with there. I tried it on my stuff. And I said, oh, done. The two go together so well.
It tastes
So,
like my mom's fried catfish.
there you go.
That's why I knew exactly what I was like.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that taste anywhere. That's so good.
And I do my breading a little different, leading most places myself anyway, because I like to mix breadings together. So, but that one I didn't do anything with. That one just it's so
Solid.
good. It's solid. Yeah, he ate it all. He ate it all. What's up? What do you want? So you said when we come back,
Yeah, I got the dog story.
Emma?
dog story.
I'll give him
So
some
she's
water.
got customers.
So we were talking before we left about
You need some more water. Yeah, just bring it
what
back.
were we talking about before? Now I gotta think about it.
Your dad retiring.
No, we were talking
you
about.
were saying you wanted
It
to
was,
dad.
he was talking about something.
No,
You
we were talking about you were talking about mindsets and stuff like that, and I just brought in the whole lessons learned by God. Basically, if you live your life fly or flight, if you constantly run from your problems and you wonder why the same problems continue in your life, then
There
it's
it is.
because
Okay.
you haven't learned your
I
lesson.
got the dog story. Yeah. Okay. I need to. I was like, in what context? What's my motivation? What's my motivation? Okay. So, oh wow, that's fancy. I got a carafe of water now. So, there's a guy, and he or girl, you choose. You can be whoever you want to.
Okay.
You, whoever you are walking down the street. By the way, this is one of my favorite stories to tell because it teaches a massive lesson. So you're walking down the street. Around the corner, you're going to a quick gas station, okay? And you're walking around the corner, and you hear this random loud, annoying noise, and it says, "Oh!" And you're like, what is that? And as you walk to the front of the building, you're getting closer and closer to this sound of this whatever. You don't know what it is. You're like kind of a little afraid. You're like, oh. And so you peer around the corner for your safety's sake, and you see a guy. He's sitting there. He is on his phone, just chilling. And next to him is a dog. And the dog is just and you're like, what is going on? So you kind of give the guy the side eye, and you walk inside the building, and you go inside, you get whatever you're looking for, you grab it, you go to the front, and you still hear that noise. And so you're like, you ask the checkout person, yo, what is that? I don't know. I was like, whose dog is that? That's that guy's outside. He's like, are you serious? Like, yeah. So you go outside, and you're about to leave, minding your own business, and you're about to walk around the corner, and your dog's still and you're like, screw it, I can't do this anymore. I don't understand. So you turn to the guy, you're like, hey, is that your dog? And the guy's on his phone. He's like, yeah. He's like, what's going on? Guy's like, he's sitting on a nail. You're like, what? He's sitting on a nail? Oh my gosh, you okay? Guy's like, I don't know. He's like, well, what's going on? Why don't you get up? And the guy puts his phone down. He goes, it doesn't hurt enough.
Huh.
And so in
I like
reality
that.
of life,
I like that.
we're sitting here on these nails, our nails, whatever our nails are, and we sit there until it gets too uncomfortable. We complain about it, we scream, but we don't move. And so I tell people, like, so when you're in these situations in life, and life starts to get a little bit overwhelming, the question is it going to cause you to move, or are you just complaining because it's uncomfortable? And so I always examine, like, we're talking right now about life examinations, and we look at these pieces of ourselves, and we're like, yo, does this make me move? Does this make me move, or is this something that's just uncomfortable? And so I go back to that circle we're talking about, and we were talking about earlier that some people want security, just like some people want freedom. I want freedom. You want freedom. You probably want freedom too.
Yeah, yeah.
But freedom looks different for other people, But I'm not saying everybody has to travel once a month like I do. But once you get outside of your security circle, which is where the good stuff lies, because your life starts to change and it opens up. But do you have enough to make you move or make you want to reach outside of your circle? Or is it just enough to make you want to
Yeah.
change, but you're still written all over
No,
the place.
no.
The problem is a lot of people don't realize it because they say like-minded people, right? And this is new. I haven't gotten this, so I'll get this stuff. This stuff comes to me all the time. Comes from above, gets to me, I come through here. So, you got all these people because they say like-minded people. If you want to know what you're going to be in the future, check your friends. Your circle
Absolutely.
matters. Right?
Absolutely.
So the most people, the most, not even the most people don't know that they're sitting on a nail and complaining about it because their whole circle's doing it.
Right.
So now you got a circle full of dogs all complaining about this one nail. They might all be sitting on the same nail,
Right.
but it doesn't sound to them like they need to move because we're all
Yeah.
sitting on a nail together in a circle complaining about it. So it's okay.
Yeah.
So that's why when I tell people, I'm like, so do you want the truth or do you want to stay in your comfort? Do you want to sit on that nail still? Because there's a drastic difference to that.
Yeah.
One of them creates change. The other one, you just want somebody to hear you. In the story, that dog wanted somebody to know he's sitting on a nail. He wanted to complain about it. But if it hurt enough,
You move.
he moved.
So I can add to that in a way. It's the way I look at it with people. It's growing up, and I did this for a long time. Anything I did as an adult, I would blame my childhood, blame my
he
upbringing,
did that for
blame
a
my
very long
family,
time,
blame
yeah.
my mom,
Blame-
this, that,
blame
that,
me.
for years. And I know so many people do it now to today. Oh, my family. Like, why do you act that way? Well, you don't understand how I was raised and
Yeah.
this and that. You get to a point where you're making the active choice as an adult, especially, and this is the contradicting and all that. When I realized the words coming out of my mouth and I was blaming my childhood or blaming the way I was raised for my actions currently, I'm basically saying why I'm doing it, but yet still continuing choosing to do it. Right there should tell you, oh no, you should stop because that's you. You as a person now are making the active choice to act whatever way you were raised or whatever. You have to break the cycle of what you were raised in. And that's when people start doing that, they look at life differently.
Well,
Absolutely.
and also it goes back to when I was traveling when I was younger with my friends. You have a group of friends that you depend on because they were always there. So you always go out to dinner, you work after dinner, and then you travel with these people. You do that for 10 years, literally for 10 years. So you went all over the world. We've seen the pyramids, we've been Buddhist, you name it. Done so much in my life, but now they are all gone, or not gone, but spread out and not reachable. That's hard because now you're left by yourself when you had this group. And you keep looking for a new group to create, but to find people that are like you, that want that freedom and that don't want to be settled and just have this thing for, I got to get away for a couple of days, and just do nothing. It's hard.
That depression, stress, anxiety, all that stuff. You hear, you deal with a lot of it. When you're depressed, you do the bad habit of laying down and
Mm-hmm.
just staying in bed. That's what you do. When you're depressed, that's what you do.
Or
And
watching movies all day.
but regardless, and I tell her, I tell her, I like when she's stressed, she tells me, I'm just stressed about this, about that, and I just don't know what I'm gonna do about this, about that. That's it. What's it doing for you? Or what's the stress doing for you?
Yes.
And she goes, well, nothing.
Yes.
And that's what that's what your answer was.
And this is what I said to him a little while ago, and I'm going to read it back to you. People think depression means crying or being sad all the time, but sometimes it feels like I'm stuck in a weird in between space, like the world is moving and I'm just there. Not really thinking, not really feeling, just existing. Nothing grabs my attention. I don't react too much. I feel blank, not sad, just numb. Most people don't understand how difficult it is to deal with that.
And I think, and I saw that you posted on Facebook, and
Yeah.
that specifically, I think, relates to you, Mom, is because you have done so much.
Yeah.
You have constantly
I
done
feel
so
like
much, and
I'm
now
missing
that you
everything.
have settled down, which most people in this world do early,
Yeah, it's switched.
they do early. You're settling down at an older age. You're bored.
Well, and
You're
also
bored.
my,
You're
Also,
bored.
but you understand, my ex-husband too created this in me too because he would, anytime I would say we lived in Florida for a while now, I was like, I don't want to live here anymore. Let's go somewhere else. He'd pack up. He was a union carpenter, so he was able to work at any power plant. And when Emma was little, we decided to make we're gonna homeschool her and travel the whole United States so she could see the whole United
Love
States.
that.
And he was the type that I didn't control him. It was more like, hey, let's go do this, and he'd be like, sure, okay. He didn't care. He just went with the flow. And we managed to build a life around that until he got sick, and then we got settled here, and then we end up getting divorced and all that.
And
I'll say this. I don't know if it was. I think it was in his wheelhouse. So you say
Yeah.
he didn't even care, but maybe he cared, but what he cared
He
about
loved it,
wasn't
though.
that. Yeah, it was
Loved
it was
it.
perfect. It was,
Yeah.
it was
he got to
for him.
go. He got to see
He
so
wouldn't
much.
make the decisions to go. It was never
No,
him.
no, no.
It was always me.
But he would be
But
okay
he'd be
with
okay
it
whatever
because
he wanted to do.
it was
What-
always an adventure to him.
Exactly. It was exciting. And so what I like to call that is the stretched out rubber bands.
Mhm.
So what you do is you get that rubber band stretched out because you've lived this big grand life,
Mhm.
and then now you've put it back. You know, you've taken whatever stretched that rubber band out of there, and now you're trying to roll up a couple pencils and it doesn't fit. And then, you know, like, why doesn't it fit? Well, because you've had something so grand.
Mhm.
But grand can always be created again if you desire.
Yeah.
You just got to find what your
You're-
grand is.
You're chasing that high.
Yes.
You got
Yeah.
high when you were young, and now you're an adult. You're chasing that high that you had when you were younger, and you settled, and it's hard to find in one place.
And
I
it's hard
get
to
it.
find good friends. Like,
Oh,
it
these
is.
days, absolutely. I have. You talk about circles. I had a circle, and you get tired of being the one in your circle with the mindset, and everyone else just complaining, complaining,
Yeah.
complaining. And then you try your thing. Look, it's not getting you nowhere. You know, do this way, try this way, try that way. Do it work for me. Now, what works for you may not work for everyone.
Right.
But you can still, when you're constantly thinking, you find things that should work for them, or maybe if they actually tried it, they can try to see. It's all about that mindset. It's the same thing I tell addicts. I have an addictive personality, so I can understand why addicts are so quick to jump into liquor or drugs or anything. But it's the mindset.
It is.
If you choose to be that way, if you choose to be an addict, you're gonna live an addict lifestyle. You know, if I choose to steal this cup from you and go sell it to her because I want the money so I can buy these drugs, I just made a choice.
I would like
You
to
know.
say that he just took my water and my bacon wrapped Maduros. I'm angry.
But if I look at it and I say, I could take that and I could sell that to her so I could buy this, then what does that make me?
Yeah. They say if you're the strongest one in your circle,
Mhm.
it's time to find a new circle.
And that's hard.
And
And
I'm
that's what she
building
says.
and I'm building my circle now, but I don't have one person in my circle.
So oh man, okay. So the analogy, I love analogies. I'm an analogy guy.
Mhm.
So I say it's like, okay, imagine if you're going from St. Louis to Chicago. You've made that trip before, right?
Yep.
Okay. So when you're on the road in St. Louis and you're going that way, you know, there's going to be a lot of traffic here in saint Louis. But as you venture out further, you stretch yourself outside of what's comfortable, where nobody is, there's going to be less people on the road. And that's okay because you're going to your next just destination. And if you look at St. Louis as a circle, you look at Chicago as a circle, that travel in between that you travel, that's a necessity that you must travel to get to your next destination. You got to go there alone.
Yeah.
And there's going to be people, maybe one person's on the road. I travel at night. So there's like one person on the road.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because they're going in the same direction.
I like traveling at
literally.
night because of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So imagine, if you will, going from circle
I
to
can't
circle.
see at night, so I don't like traveling at night. But go ahead.
But you're going to your new circle, like you're heading there, and it's okay because you're going to be there. You might be alone for a little bit, but what I've learned from my situations, as I begin to live greater and grander and more out loud, with more unapologetic me, I leave behind a lot of people, and that's okay because as I do that, there are other unapologetic me's out there who are looking for me. So you're walking into a season of, wow, you're going to feel really at home with your next group. And it's okay that you don't have anybody for this season. I mean, I barely have anybody now. I'm single. How you doing, ladies? I'm single. I don't have any kids. I don't have a wife. You know, I have my family here.
Somebody need to wipe him up.
And,
Oh, that's a catch.
Where the Cuban ladies at?
Man.
Let's go dancing. But in all of that, like I live a solitary life, but by doing that, I also understand myself. I get a lot of free time with me. But then when people come into my life and my circle and we kind of click, it means more to me now. Back in the day when we were kids, we made friends because you were sitting next to me on the playground. You're like, you want to be my friend? You're like, yes, I want to be your friend.
Yeah,
Now we're friends.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's human nature. We don't really talk anymore. I don't know if we're going to get to a point where the children don't even talk to each other anymore on phones, but that means no one's going to have friends. But
They'll all be virtual.
It is.
They'll all be virtual.
I'll tell you a funny story about that, having friends. So I have one best friend, my bestie. I love her to death. Her name is Danielle. Anyway, there a couple months back, there was a big, between other friends, a big blow up. and somebody said to me that she was talking shit about me, and she was saying this and this, and I got mad. But I got mad, and I said to myself, okay, I'm gonna approach this way. And I told the person who told me this, I said, you know what? I'm gonna invite her to dinner. I'm gonna write this text, and we're gonna go through this. If this is how she feels about me, okay, fine. I don't care. And she wasn't my best friend then. She was just a really good friend that I missed because I couldn't put two and two together. Why she would say this? So I wrote this, long text message, and the first thing I said was, I heard that you said you hate my guts, and I want to know why. What did I ever do to you? That's all she read. I, she didn't read everything else. She called me right away. She goes, "What the hell?" And that meant so much to me because she didn't sit there and read the whole thing. She just automatically picked up the phone, called me, wanting to fix this.
I love that.
And now we're like the best of friends, and I'm there for her. She needs something, or her kids need something. I give up my life for them. They're really good people.
That solitude
amazing.
thing, that what
Yeah.
you said, that was my lesson from 42 to 43 years old.
Mhm.
Was patience. I had a tendency. I hated being by myself. Yes, always wanted to be with other people because I can't. You don't like being in your own brain. A lot of
Okay.
people don't. That last year, a lot of it I found myself by myself because of my growth, and outgrowing my circle. Just kept my mouth shut and listened and watched. And when you keep your mouth shut and you sit in patience and you're not the one messaging, you're not the one this, you're not the one that, and I found myself. And it's not that I found myself, it's that I refound myself.
Mhm.
See, 5 years ago I got shot by my ex-wife in the back, and that humbled me because of, I guess, the person I was becoming wasn't the right person I needed to become. Because that's all God, in my opinion. When I was in the flight light and the flight risk, it came from my back and it came out my chin, and the guy in the plane and the helicopter said, "You're a miracle." I didn't take it as I'm a miracle. Say God taught me the biggest lesson I needed to learn was stop growing your big head, because my head was so big.
Mhm. He was obnoxious.
I was obnoxiously obnoxious.
Wow.
Still a good person, but so good that with my mouth and everything else, that everyone beneath me was just crap. That's how big of a head I got. I was in the hospital for 2 days. I got shot from the back, came out here. I was in the hospital for 2 days. I have no complications from it. It was God teaching me a lesson. And from that point forward is when my real journey of growth started for me. And I refound who I was when I was younger, is what I found myself now. Like when I just went back to New York, the same thing I got arrested for, I was able to legally buy in a store.
Isn't that cool?
What I got arrested for, I was legally allowed to smoke in the street. Legally in New York City.
Oh, yeah, we talking about that.
Yes.
Ooh, boy, we were having that conversation.
I
just
got
in an
arrested
Uber the other
in
day.
New York at 19 years old for smoking marijuana down in Wall Street. Okay, it was after work, me and a
But you
friend.
you took it also from somebody you didn't. You stole it from somebody. That's what the story was.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I was 19. I was at Wall Street. It was me and security guard buddy. We were smoking a couple J's. I had a quarter of a J left. I had an undercover cop dressed as a biker come to me. "Hey, bro, you know Carlos?" I said, "No, I don't know any Carlos, man." "Oh, man, Carlos supposed to be. He's supposed to sell me some weed." I said, "I'm sorry, man. This is all I have." He goes, "Well, can I buy that from you?" This is 1999, 2001, 2002, I don't know. And I was like,
You told me that story.
this is the story. This is
from what you
this is
said,
this is
my
the only thing I
sister
ever
said.
got arrested for in my entire life.
Okay.
This is the only thing I've ever been arrested for. I said, "Sure, man. I don't know how much. I don't whatever." He said, "I'll give you $5 for it." AKA that's entrapment. That's what my lawyer got me out of. So I said, "Sure, $5." I actually thought it was a deal. I was like, I got $5 little thing. As soon as he left, I pulled up the second one. We lit it up. Next thing I know, there's cops coming everywhere.
That's
Long story
wild.
short, I got arrested. Blah blah blah. And then I went there in September, and I didn't even know it was legal there. Honestly, I didn't even know. And we're walking, and my friend, I said, "That's a dispensary." And I walk in, and I get my ID, and I ask all the questions, and then the girl's like, "Yeah, you can walk in the street and smoke it." I said, "No, get out of here." And so I did it.
You're like, that's entrapment, lady.
Yeah, I did it. Actually, I was like, "There's no way," and no one's turning their heads. But it was when I saw the police. There was two cops. They look at me, and I'm like, It was the test. I was so nervous. You can ask my buddy. I was so nervous that they just turned around and kept on walking.
Did you offer them $5 worth?
No, absolutely not.
That's good.
I didn't, because I'm sure that's still illegal.
That's so
But it was like a book closing in one way, and it just made me realize that, especially in New York, one thing I love about New York City, and I will not change till this day, is you could be whoever the hell you want. If I want to wear a dress with cowboy boots, a cowboy hat,
that was you. I saw you, man. I saw.
and a polo shirt, and act weird or act myself, not one person is gonna be like, judge you. I forget, living out here in the Midwest, the South, even and even towards the West a little bit. People are so judgmental, and you try to just not be yourself because you care what they think. But like you said, once you stop caring what certain people think anymore, because you know where you're headed, then you could be whoever the hell you want to be. And that's the beauty, I think, of New York City and cities like that, is that the people there, they are who they want to be, regardless of what anyone says. They can care less. And I think everyone says that about New York. I mean, New Yorker will tell you, I don't care what you think. Because that's the mentality I was raised with already. Forgot it from traveling I did, got humbled, and now finding myself, because I am a genuinely happy person. I don't stress. That's the other thing, and she's learned this year about me. I had such bad anxiety and other stuff that my body hurt, my shoulder, everything was just bothering me all the time, and I constantly found myself like this. Finally, I said, you know what? Let it go.
Yeah.
And it hurt to let it go. It hurt to let it go. The pain of letting it all go and relaxing hurt more than me holding it up, being this, holding my chest all the time, constantly having to tuck my shirt to have some pressure here, because that's the anxiety I had before. I let it all go, man, and now I tell her all the time, and she's right. She hasn't got there yet, and I don't know how I got there. I just know since I got there, I think better, I breathe better, I feel better, and that is what I think motivation is. What most people need is when you're happy,
and you know what, clap your hands.
You can do whatever you want. No, when you're happy and you're excited for that plane trip, that vacation, to go see it, you're dressed at 2:00 in the morning. Just wait, come on, man. When you get up, Santa, you're excited. You're waiting for those presents. When you're excited, when you're ready, when you're excited for your job, you're ready to go to work 40 minutes early. When you're excited to go to school, you end up school. You're happy to go to school, see your friends. But then when you're sad or you're stressed or that, you don't want to do anything. But if you take that energy, like I tell my son all the time, I tell him, I said in the back, I said, what are these? I said, why they look like this? They're a little too dark for me. He said, they were the first things I pressed. I said, you know the rule with that. We don't ever serve the first thing we press.
I can't tell.
I'll go back there and make them, and you're going to say, oh.
Oh.
Yeah, when they're golden brown deliciousness and look like actual quesadillas. He didn't do anything wrong, but he could have did better. And so, you know what the first thing he told me was? First thing Evan told me, 17-year-old. I'll just never make them again for you guys. I said, see, that's where you messed up. I said, that's where you messed up. It's not that you won't ever make them again. I said, Evan, that right there, you should go. If I told you this, and I said, this is live, and people saw it, and I said, if you had haters on here going, oh man, look at those quesadillas, blah, blah, that should strive you to go back there, make them again. Next time I have a video and come back, hey, how about these? How do these look? They look better? Taste them. I bet you it tastes better too. Because you want to do better than what you did before. Yeah. People don't like criticism.
They don't.
They don't.
Because criticism interrupts what I want.
Have kids. Your kids will be your biggest lesson, because that kid, he didn't have a mom. I've raised that kid since he was 17 years old. That kid gives me everything I've ever given anyone and everything in life. He gives it to me. I hate criticism.
So
I used to make excuses for every criticism. Oh, well, the only reason I did it because blah, blah. Well, okay, but this. Well, yeah, you're right, but I did it because of blah, blah. I made excuses. Now I'm constantly on all of them. They call me and they'll tell me this, and then I'll say, well, blah, blah, blah. And then they'll say, well, that's an excuse.
Yeah,
I catch myself because I used to do that,
bro.
and it's because of him. It's because of her and stuff like that. It makes me reflecting mirrors. Yes, kids are your sponge, and when I've realized how much I've taught him is another reason I strive to do so much better is because I get so many compliments for that kid, so many. But you know him like I know.
Yeah.
And I love that he is different than most kids his age. The work ethic's there. I mean, he's 17, he's still in school, does online schooling at home while he's working 40 hours a week. His girlfriend, 17, they live together,
Oh wow.
also doing online schooling while she works 2 jobs in today's economy.
Yeah.
That's the kids I got. That's the kids that her parents raised her 100% correct. I'm raising him the best I can, knowing that work ethic is important. But like you said, I said, because he's worked McDonald's, AutoZone, Waffle House, McDonald's. He can't work for nobody.
Yeah.
He
that's
can
a big
work
deal.
for himself. I can work for myself. I can't work for nobody either. I'm a lot like you. I go in there, I say, okay, well, that's smart, but if we do it this way, and they say, yeah, but that's not the way corporate wants it.
Right.
I don't care if that's the way corporate wants it. I'm making you more money. Yeah, but
Yes.
corporate doesn't want it, blah, blah. And that's why I made the comment I said 10 years later, they changed it. I worked for Murphy's about 10, 15 years ago, and I did some things for them that they didn't do, and they didn't like, and they ended up firing me. Here we are 10, 15 years, they're doing the stuff that I suggested because it makes sense. Somebody probably got the promotion for my idea. Somebody got promoted probably for your ideas growing up.
All day.
You know,
All
I
day.
hate saying things, and she knows this. I hate saying things around the phone because there's products I came up with 10, 15 years ago. There's an underwear that go around your sack. I came up with that before anyone else in my head, and I talked about it, and I kept saying I want to do it, but I didn't know nothing about sewing. I didn't know anybody was sewing, so I never went with it. And there's so many different ideas like that I see that I in my head and I talk about, and the next thing I know they're doing, and I'm like, I'm never talking around this thing, yo. And it's a proven thing. It's a proven thing that their phones record you. So I mean, you just never know, but that's conspiracy.
I had a when I was a kid in high school, so in the 90s, before like cigarette lighters were just cigarette lighters. But I remember, I don't know why, I wanted a way to shave. But how do you shave whenever you're in the car and you got a job in it? You know, I was 14, 15, 16 years old. So I went to my teacher. I was like, yo, I want to come up with a way to use a cigarette lighter to plug in something that can charge and just use it on my face. And, you know, how can we do that? And the teacher told me, he's like, this is, you can't do that because the AC current and DC current.
Yeah.
And he explained to me why I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay. As a kid, I don't know. These are my superiors.
Yep.
Years later, everybody's using their car lighters for everything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I was at the beginning of I could have said something, but I asked the wrong person.
Yes.
And in life, we ask the wrong
Yeah.
people
Yes.
for permission or for how to,
Yeah.
but they don't know how to do it. So because they don't know how to do it, they tell me I can't do
They
it.
squish your dreams.
And the dreams are gone.
Yeah.
Like there's so many, like you said, I look around, I'm like, yeah, yeah.
I always say you need to try. Like even if you have a business that might fail, you need to try. Failing is okay
Yes.
because at least you tried. You know, go up against an investor and say, okay, we want to invest it.
Emma.
We want you to invest in this. What do you have to lose? All he could do is say no.
What's crazy is, and like I said, from being a teacher, I see it now. I used to be bacon wrapped Maduros here at Havana, 1961. So being a teacher, I now like if I was a teacher today, compared to when I was a teacher when I was growing up. Yeah, I used to tell people, yeah, you got to go to college, get a good degree. Now, if I was a teacher, I'm like, don't go to college.
Right.
You can learn everything you want to learn. You just have to be willing to go out and get the information. Seek mentorship from people who are doing it long before you seek education and a scholarship. Like if you're a doctor, though, go become a doctor. It makes sense. Specialized knowledge. It makes perfect sense.
Right.
But the reason that I do this differently now is because in schools where we learned that failure was bad, we walk as a kid. To learn to walk, you must fail.
You must fall.
You
Fall.
have to.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way not to. Whenever we're emulating our parents to learn how to speak, we are. But that is our way of failing through it.
Yep,
And then all of a sudden we get to a place in school where we're like, yo, the teacher will write on our papers and they're like, hey, this is not right. This is wrong. So now I'm thinking, okay, I can't do anything right. And so now it starts taking me away from things I could be great at because a teacher put a red mark on my paper with a -1.
That's right.
So now, for example, if you couldn't read, would you tell anybody you couldn't read?
No.
No, because that's kind of embarrassing.
Right.
But could you tell people?
But I do
hate
tell
math?
people, I have a dyslexia.
Okay, that's what's up.
So
that's
that's,
not.
yeah.
People will actually. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if you couldn't do math, would you tell anybody you couldn't do math?
No.
No, because it's not embarrassing. Because people are not good at math, so it's okay to talk about it. Because at one point in time, somebody did something that said, "Oh, I wasn't good at math," or "You didn't catch it," or "The math was a little too hard," right? So we have a society where failing is not okay. But as we grow up, before we get into society, all we did was fail, and it made us great.
Yep.
And then we took away the failing, and now people are getting real comfortable. And actually, let's go back to this comfortable circle. We're back to this comfortable circle. In the comfortable circle, we don't fail in here.
Yep.
And here's where
No.
we're successful. So
Those,
we create this bubble.
What
of
are those
success.
trophies they give you? The participation trophy.
Everybody's great. You know what?
Everyone's great.
Everybody
No,
is-
you have to fail.
Oh,
And look, you make a point about the teachers, right? I know with this growing up, they probably told you the same thing about math.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a calculator growing up.
everywhere.
You're not gonna have this growing up. You're not gonna have that growing up. You're good. You're not gonna have that. You're not gonna have that. You're not gonna. I have a whole computer in my hand
What's funny is that like
everywhere I go.
I one of my big goals. I have many goals and many
Right.
big dreams. You have to dream big.
Right.
And I can say this out loud because I hope people watch this and hold me to it. I would love to change the landscape of education as a whole and actually become like maybe the Secretary of Education, something really big like that. Because the education system we have today is based on an antiquated system that's designed of memory
Yeah.
and reciting.
Right.
But the problem is nowadays, just like you said, when they started this, phones didn't exist.
Right.
I have the knowledge and the capability to create
Learn all that.
everything
Everything.
at any time.
Everything.
If I want to know what time George Washington crossed to Delaware, you know, what color pants was he wearing, I can
Everything
ask.
has to-
My phone would tell
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
What I want to create is I want to either do that or I want to create my own school of leadership and entrepreneurship.
Right.
I want to teach kids taxes. I want to teach them how to
Balance a checkbook.
Yes.
Write checks.
how to talk to people, how to cooperate. The schools say, okay, you will fail on your own merits. These are your grades. But in reality, nobody does anything alone.
Right.
We do everything together. We work together as a team. But we don't teach them to work as a team.
Yep.
So why do we have so many individuals who can't work together?
They can't
'Cause
even
we never
sign their
talk to
names
them.
now because they took that away.
We definitely have the means these days for no kid to not learn at
Okay.
all.
I got a question off the wall, but I have to ask this before we end this because.
Oh, we're done?
No, we're not done. No.
But I'm
No,
gonna,
sorry,
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
put my 2 cents in because I have to know because it's driving me crazy.
Sure.
You have this thing about cash flow Fridays.
Oh, she wants to talk
Okay.
about cash flow. Okay.
There's a drive.
Oh, that's today then. You got one today.
Oh, I got one today.
You got one today.
I got one today.
This is driving me crazy because I'm like, what the?
You
what-
know, I
like,
almost-
What is it?
It
I'm
made me
like,
get up and
what?
dance.
Real quick, when you posted that you were looking for a location,
I
I wanted to
sure am.
offer you here.
I
I
thought about
should have,
this.
and I
Why-
wish
why
you would have
haven't you?
asked.
Why haven't you asked?
Because I
me about
wanted you
this?
to ask.
Why haven't you asked me about this?
So,
I'm
if you
asking
do want to have
I
cash
know
flow
it is.
here, you're more than welcome to have cash flow here, and you
Okay.
don't have to pay for
Okay,
it.
we don't even know what cash
Just bring
flow
in the
is.
people.
We don't even know what cash flow is. That's what
Okay.
I'm asking.
Yeah, you
So
know what?
cash
The
flow
words
is-
are cash and flow.
Cash flow is a strip club, and what we did. No, I'm kidding. So first of all, before I answer that question, can I say something to the camera?
Mm-hmm.
And this is big. We've been talking all day about choice and being deliberate with your actions. I put out into the universe. I asked God, like, yo, I want a place to play this because when I'm playing this game, I am my best version of me that I'm striving for. I'm tapping into the different levels of myself I don't understand, right? So I'm in this place where I'm just growing and striving, and I got people who are with me who are doing the same thing. I put it out in the universe, and now look at this. I'm on a podcast that came up out of nowhere. I got called about it 2 days ago. I'm here talking.
Yesterday. No,
Yesterday.
yes, I messaged you yesterday morning because we talked about you earlier this week, and I said I'm going to invite
Oh,
DeMarcus,
shit.
and she said DeMarcus, and I said, you know what? I don't think you actually had the pleasure of meeting you guys, like you two actually
We
meeting.
met, but not
I
really.
think, but I think it was a very fast
Right.
like thing because yeah, and so I said I said you'll love him. I said he constantly be doing things. He's constantly traveling. He's got this cash flow game he does. he does a lot. I think he'd
Then
be
I
great.
said, "What's cash flow?"
And she asked us, she's like, "What's cash flow?" I said, "I think you would love that too." I said, I told her, I said, "I wish I would have told you about it, so you would have been part of it, because she would have been part of that." She was like, "Go ahead, what's cash flow?"
Okay,
The
so
Marcus,
I gotta finish my prep for this.
not a strip club.
I mean, not a strip club, no. So what I want to say in this situation is that when you're deliberate about what you want and you put it out into the world, it will come back to you. But make sure that you're actually wanting it and you're pouring energy into it. Otherwise, guess what? It doesn't actually happen. Be real with yourself. That's all I gotta say about that. Okay, so cash flow is a great game. There's a book by a man named Robert Kiyosaki. You probably read it, called Rich Dad Poor Dad,
I think I have read that book
or
actually.
heard of it. It was on the charts for the longest time. Well, guess what? That was actually created second. Cash flow was created first. Okay. According to, oh, by the way, remember I told you that I have a mentor,
Mhm.
and so let me go ahead and back it up just a little bit more. I met her because I played the cash flow game once, and I really wanted to play it more, like about maybe 7 to 10 years ago.
Mhm.
But I couldn't find anybody to play with. Once again, my circle didn't want to play.
Right.
So I went to the internet and said, hey, who's playing cash flow? I found some people. I showed up, and that's where I met my mentor, Marlene. They're heavy into real estate. It was really cool. I learn things from them all the time. I'm actually you probably saw about my first store challenge that I'm going into personally. I'm doing that because
Yeah.
of the real estate investing group that she's involved in. I'm doing that because of that. So
Okay.
anyways, long story short, again, I met them from cash flow, and so I've been playing cash flow with them, but they haven't been playing lately. But I need that. Like
Mhm.
the energy I create around that game, it just funnels into the universe. It's
Mhm.
crazy. And I don't mean the universe by replacing God or anything. I mean
Right.
actually the physical universe,
Mhm.
and it responds to me. Like I vibrate on a whole different level
Mhm.
when I play this game consistently. So lately I've been driving Uber, and I'm in my car, and I'm driving by, and I'm seeing houses and properties I've never seen before. Things are coming up in my vision that I never saw. Why? Because my mind is now on a different vibrational level.
Okay.
So cash flow was created by Robert Kiyosaki. And what it is a game based on, if you had Monopoly, the game of Monopoly,
Mhm.
and the game of life. You know
Mhm.
those two?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So take those two, they get married, they have a kid.
Mhm.
The kid decides it wants to be on steroids. So they put it on steroids. That's what cash flow is. It is a powerful game that allows for people to examine their financial processes,
Mhm.
what they like, what they don't like, and somehow the game always ends up being a reflection of what you're presenting. So some people hate the game, some people love it. I cannot get enough of the game. I want to play 3 or 4 times a week because every time I play, my brain starts working.
Mhm.
And I don't have enough things in my life that my brain just starts working. So
Right.
it's a board game, and you're just playing it as if you have these little mice, or they're rats, because you're in a rat race and you're just moving around the board and you're doing things, you're buying things, you're making decisions, and as you play this game, like your world changes. It's freaking great. It's amazing, and the people you play with is even better because as you start to play with people,
Mhm.
um, you start to build this camaraderie, and you know who you want to do deals with, who you don't want to do deals with. It's just a great game. It's so powerful. At least I think it is.
So it's like a real estate game? Is that right?
It's like real estate meets financial aptitude meets
So is it like a board game?
yeah.
And then you just okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And so you have like a game card, and
Mhm.
you draw a card, you roll dice. It's a whole,
Nice.
like I said, it's literally like Monopoly
like fun.
in life.
No, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
let's see here, big deal,
Yeah.
opportunity, small deal. Then you got market, payday.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, there's cards, there's everything.
And it's funny because when I first played with Marlene, I played before and I was just about winning. I was
It is
"Oh,
like
I'm winning."
Monopoly in life.
Yeah. So I played the game. I was like, okay, I'm winning. And I went to Marlene's for the first time, and I'm playing there with her and Steven and her partner Steven, and they're sitting here like, okay, um, and I win the game, and I'm excited because I won the game again. And so I'm getting ready to leave. This is the first time I ever met her. And she goes, what did you learn? What do you mean, what did I learn? What? And I realized that I was so focused on winning, just like I do in my life.
Yeah.
I was so focused on winning, I missed the lesson. And so as I started to play that game again, I realized where I was missing things. And so now, as I play this game, like even 7, 8, 9, 10, I don't know how long I've known you, Marlene. I know you're going to watch this. You always watch everything I do.
I don't know.
But
Some movie stuff.
I realized that there's things I don't know.
Right.
And as I play this game more and more,
You're welcome.
there are, you're not going to throw those away, are you?
No.
I'm gonna make you better ones than these.
All right, fine.
I didn't say
You're not
that.
gonna
I didn't say
complain.
that, Evan. I didn't say that.
But you get a chance to be and learn what you want to create in life.
That sounds cool.
It is so cool. I don't do a great job explaining it. I usually stop at, is Cashel and Monopoly had a baby and it's on steroids. But talking about the game, because it does bring me so much joy and so much energy and power. It's one of the most brilliant things. And I hope, because there was a point where Marlene was running games for Cashel and there was like 50 people in the room.
Wow.
Actually, there might have been more than that because she used to run 6 at a table and she'd probably run 10, maybe 10, 12 tables. It was packed. And, people come and play. It's a brilliant game. And I highly recommend it if you get a chance.
You gotta put money down or anything, or just?
So people, that's the one issue I've been running, and it's hard to find a spot because I don't charge people to play the game. Marlene didn't charge me to play the game, and I don't charge people to play the game because it's a learning thing. Like you
It's a
get a chance to
learning
go in
thing,
there and get your energy in there.
Baby, come down, bring it here. I'm telling you, bring it here.
Okay.
I got tables y'all can use. I don't mind. See, this
Okay.
is about helping others.
It is.
It's not all. A lot of people. It's so hard for us, man. It's so hard for us because we're not in this for money. We are in this for us to be able to live, of course. Like,
but we're not greedy. Like, oh, we want all this.
I
money.
drive a 2003 Honda CRV. My window wipers don't work.
Oh wow.
I burned oil yesterday. I got a funny story. I'm sitting there getting, because my girlfriend wanted rolls. That's all she wanted for Texas Roadhouse.
Okay.
She just wanted rolls. I said, I got you. I actually went there the day before, but they don't open until 3 during the week. I didn't know this.
You got them at Walmart now.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I know. So yesterday I'm there. I'm sitting there in Wentzville for like an hour waiting in this parking lot. Finally, they open. I turn the car off. I go inside. I come back out. I try to turn the car back. The car wouldn't start. No. I said, what the hell? No. I said, you were just fine. I'm sitting here talking to her. I call her Forrest Gump. Anyway, I have a really bad habit of not checking my oil.
Yeah.
My car burns oil. I already knew this. So I already made the call. Hey, I need help. Blah blah blah. She's sending our friend, and he has a tow truck, and she was sending him. And finally, I said, let me just look at the hood. And I opened it. I checked the dipstick. I said, put dipstick back in. I said, go to my back in my car. I already have oil on deck.
Got a box.
I did.
Yeah.
I just used the last one yesterday. So I put the oil in there. I go around. Called her mom up. Said, never mind. She said, what do you mean, never mind?
I'm a dumbass.
I said, silly James. She goes, what'd you do? I said, it's not what I did. It's what I didn't do. I said, she just needed oil. She's like, but yeah, she drives a 1999.
No, 2011.
Whatever. She has 11 Jeep. Like, we're not here to make money. Not here to.
Asked about something. She said she paid too much, but she's asking if there's any way we can look at the order. I asked for the order number because she didn't pay with the card,
How you guys doing?
and she can't
Hope
find
you're
the
doing
order.
well.
This is live.
I know,
They're
right?
getting everything in
I
there.
don't know
Might
how we
as
can
well.
help her
Take her
there.
name and number.
Yeah, so the name and number. I have to pass that up to Blake. I asked her if she knows what time, and
This is real business.
that's fine. Write it all down.
This happens
Get her
every day.
name and number.
Every day.
and
No,
we'll get
there's
to
always
call her.
something going on, The hard part is Fox 2 News does this show with us. Well, they sell a whole bunch of gift certificates.
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
half the time, people only bring one instead of the two. Because one is 25 and the other one is 25. So you buy for
It is
25, you get 50. But they only bring
Yeah, you
one.
got that both.
And this is
Just do it.
$50. Where's the
Yeah,
other one?
information.
Oh, I left that home. I didn't know I needed it.
Mm.
I was like, okay, yeah, you need that one.
But yeah, we're not
This is real right
we're
here.
not
This is
we're
like-
not here to get rich, and we're not like this is it's so funny because 5 years ago when we started Papu's, right, my mindset there was to get rich.
Yeah.
I was like, man, we gotta make money. I was mad at her all the time because donating to hospitals, to the police, to
I
firefighters,
donated so much.
especially during COVID. During COVID, she to all the first responders or whatever they call
Yeah.
them,
the people for front lines.
the frontline people.
Mhm.
I was so mad because she was just giving away so much profit, so much everything, so much money, and we went under. And I blamed her then, but there was so many different things going on. I mean, we lost a lot of business to COVID.
Nobody wanted to work.
Nobody wanted to work. We hired teenagers at that point. The people we had, it's a lot of things happened. But back then, that was my biggest thing. Yeah, I told you since the shooting, everything changed in me, and you just give, man, just give, and it's meant to come back, and
It
it
will.
always will, and it
It
always
all-
will.
And so it comes back with friends, which is really cool. It comes back heavier than when you sent it out,
Right,
which is amazing.
right.
Like
It's my
yes,
church. Okay, I love God. I love it. But I feel like church. You talk about circles and
Mhm.
bubbles and all that. I feel they have even gotten so comfortable in their own bubble. I'm one of those people that I always ask the question: who do you think Jesus really hung out with? You think he hung out with all the saints, or you think he hung out with all the sinners?
very interesting.
Jesus hung out with the sinners because his job was to what? Convert whoever he could to follow God,
Right.
to help those.
Be the example.
He'd wash the feet of whoever, did not care. That's my mentality. Is why am I going to surround myself with a bunch of people already seem that they know where they're going? I'm surrounding myself with that people are lost.
And what's funny is he had the disciples that he rolled with, and for them to follow and go with him, they had to understand where he was going. And he
Without
was
question,
washing
though.
feet.
Without question.
question.
Yeah.
So they had to
Question.
know, okay, well, we know he's going to go wash feet today.
Right.
Are we okay with washing feet?
Right.
So he found his people because not everybody was going to be washing feet
Yeah.
with them. And it had to be okay. Like, he's like, okay, okay, I still love you, but you can't rock with us because we're going somewhere. We
Right.
got something to do.
Right.
So that's
and
big.
you know, and it's how you walk, it's how you talk, it's how you present yourself. Like people, you get this stereotype from the big cities and all that. Like even in the hoods of St. Louis, they're like, "Oh man, bring your gun, don't get out of your car," and all that. I guarantee you, I can walk any street in this city, and I would not be worried, and nothing would happen to me. It's how you carry yourself.
Big deal.
If you go through there acting weird and all that, you're gonna get messed with. They're gonna mess with. You go there confidently and you walk your life confidently, things will be better for you. Not egotistical, confident.
Now back to him, Demarcus. That's the same thing. The cash flow ties into your my investor vision.
Say it again.
All right, so this is your investor vision, what she's talking about. This is your day 3. And you said it in my investor vision, I wake up without an alarm, pray and thank God for a healthy and fun life,
Gotta get up.
exercise and eat breakfast.
Gotcha.
I healthy and wake up with no pain because it's been gone for years.
Over you.
And then meet sellers during lunch.
Yep.
Real estate being your vehicle.
Yep.
And you're building a business that gives you location freedom and independence.
Yep. I mean,
Having homes in multiple states, which I love that idea. Wintertime, go down to Florida. Summertime, go to Colorado. You know, stuff like that. Deals that fund your lifestyle, but not steal your time. And it sounds bold, but you see yourself flipping houses, buy and holding, some wholesaling and some land flipping, mentoring, playing cash flow
Playing cash flow.
in real life and the board game.
Yeah.
Kickboxing
Kickball.
tournaments and just serving and then just winning.
Yes.
Winning.
So-
Creating a win-win-win.
Got
Right?
you.
When you're doing the real estate and you have multiple homes, you have to start somewhere.
Mhm.
But many people don't have the money to just, oh, I'm gonna put this down and do that. I want to know about that
Okay.
because
So
a lot of people are wanting to do something like that, or like my daughter, she wants to do Airbnb. She wants to get an Airbnb, and we're waiting to do that. But how? How do we? How
Okay.
would you start?
That's
There's so many
fantastic.
people
So-
have questions.
I have a business group right now that I'm involved with, and it was one I met with Marlene.
Mm-hmm.
And the group is amazing. They're phenomenal. They're strong. They're connected.
Mm-hmm.
They are givers. I really, and this is actually different for me because I'm going to give you why I really like this group. I've been to many different business groups. James, you could probably attest to this. I've been to many different business groups, and what I notice is that when I go in the room in their business groups, like these dudes have all ego up on the front of the stage.
Yeah,
all
that's what
sure,
we
and no
find. That's what
bravado.
when we go, that's what we get.
So I went to Marlene's like one event with her, and I think it was 3 different speakers on the stage, and they started crying about grown men crying because of what this has done and changed their life. And I'm like, whoa, like that's not normal. That's freedom. And I'm the kind of guy, like, I don't mind shedding a tear. I'll cry whenever it's time.
Right.
you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
absolutely.
But to see your mentorship or a possible mentorship do it, you know that the ego is gone. Because as men, we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I'm putting the air
No,
quotes.
no, yeah, yeah, no, I get it, I
Air
get it.
quotes. We're
I
not
get it.
allowed to do that, right? Not allowed to show emotion because we got to be strong and stoic. We got to. Okay, whatever.
Not this world.
So-
We live in 2025. What you mean?
so I found this group and I love them. And so they taught me a lot. And here's what's funny is like I know so much about real estate investing, but what stopped me is fear.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm doing the first door challenge right now.
I'm reading about that actually as you're talking. I'm looking at this going,
Oh,
okay, this is my next
man.
question.
Fear, being
Is
afraid.
fear.
No. Fear is being afraid, which is also a form of being uncomfortable.
Yeah, but
It
what I
is.
love about him is he says the real deal cash flow game life.
Yes. Because what I'm realizing is when I'm playing cash flow, I'm doing the deals in
That you
real
could
life I
actually
could
do.
do
Yeah.
in life, but
Right.
I'm not doing them in life because the game is easy to play. Like, you can play a
Mhm.
board game. There is a sense of, I could lose, but if you lose in a game, you start all over.
Right.
But if I lose in real life,
Yes,
now wait a second, I could lose my home.
Right.
I could lose my money. I could lose my car.
Right.
So it looks different.
Yeah,
So
yeah, no, you're
what's
right.
kept me from real estate and why I've gotten into this, I got into the group, learned a lot. Like I think this weekend, not it's either this weekend or next weekend, they're doing mobile homes and there's something crazy they're doing that's really cool. Um, but I discovered this group and second is mobile home parks. Yes, mobile home parks is what they're doing. So they always do something different.
Mhm.
But this allowed for me to see how to do the deals. It gave me how to do it. It also showed me, and I grew up in St. Charles. We weren't the richest family. We were, like medium, right in the middle.
Right.
And in my mindset, I didn't even, I ruined my credit in college
Mhm.
because I had a $1,500 credit card that I got that I didn't want to pay. So I filed bankruptcy.
Oh.
Nobody told me any different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You
they
know
don't
what I'm
teach you
saying?
that in
They don't
school,
teach you that.
guys. They don't teach you that.
That's why I want that school bond.
No, I get it. I get it.
This is me being like you get my
Yeah.
real
No,
life.
I
Right?
get it. Yeah.
So for 15, 10, 15, no, 10 or 11 years or whatever they got it for, I couldn't do anything when my credit was crap. And I was like, I don't need my credit. I remember saying this. I don't need my credit. I was happy. I was on food stamps. I was so happy in college. I was like, oh, free food, college. That's my mindset, right? And so now that I'm looking back on that, I'm like, wow, I didn't do these deals. I hadn't started this deal because I still had an older mindset of where my money came from.
Right.
In my mind, I was like, I don't have enough money to do this.
Right.
But in reality, this group I was talking about, they showed me I don't even need my own money to do this. All I need is knowledge. Like there's different relationships, there's different currencies in life. There's money, there's actual money, there's relationships, there's knowledge, and there's time. For example, a doctor might have a lot of money but have no time.
Right.
So he might be looking for someone who has a lot of time but no money,
Right.
Right.
and they can work together.
Can help
Okay.
each other,
Or you
yeah.
go out
Okay.
and find someone who has the money and who wants to put the deal in, who's just gonna have money sitting there anyway. So give them some money. Give you money, you go do the deal, you pay them back, or they get the house.
Right.
But I didn't know these things until I knew them. Now that I know them, the only thing stopped me is fear. So I was like, you know what? Now I gotta do this challenge. I know too much. And as soon as I do my first deal and I get that out of the way, what's gonna change is the fear will be gone because I've already done it. And the
You're
world's
looking
my
at
oyster.
something bigger and better.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it'll move fast because I already know the things.
Yeah.
Now I just got to implement the things. So they're all in place. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to be very deliberate these 90 days. I'm going to go out and get this, and I'm going to make it happen. So yeah, that's why I joined that group. It's a very powerful group,
Awesome.
and if anybody's interested, let me know.
I was
will
gonna
gladly
say, I think
shoot
right
me out.
there
I'm
is,
interested.
And you can be like a
Mama
new
Maria's gonna be
investor.
the new
You could
person
be-
jumping this.
I love it. Come on down. I would
Love
love to
it,
invite you some things. And like they're based out of my group is based out of Chicago. They're actually in the
I'm
whole
open
U.S.
to whatever.
We can go down there,
Okay.
or there's Zoom calls. And like I tell people all the time, if you want to get on one of the Zoom,
I'm good for a road
things.
trip.
Oh yes.
This
me
is
too.
why. Look, this is another
It is-
reason
it's
I wanted this link to happen. Is I know the mind frame you have is something she used
Used
to
to
have.
have.
I say used to because
I used to do all
again,
that.
this depression. I don't know any word to say it, but this depression has taken over my mother. I hate because I'm not one that I don't know how to break it. I don't. It's harder when it comes from your own family to try to break it because I feel like it's the same thing as a mom telling her kid what she should do with life.
It's up to me.
I'm
But
stubborn.
it's up to me to break it. But
Well, no,
here's-
no.
That's
But
You-
here's
you're
the
right.
problem. Here's the problem. I'm looking for some other people.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying
to
is
have gone through this, or
me
some other
saying
people
it.
to raise me up and say you can do this. I don't have that.
I used to be very, I used to be depressed as well. I used to have depression growing up as a kid. Being a, and to be honest with you, being a black kid in St. Charles back in the day, you're one of few.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of rejection, a lot of things did not go my way. Been called a couple names, been dealt with a couple ways. I had a choice on whether I wanted to keep that energy or let it go. But I did start like podcasts and doing, like I said, if you ever want to go to YouTube, look up Humble and Focused.
Okay.
That's
that.
what mine called. All one
Okay.
word. Humble and Focused. That's mine. There's a lot of them in there. But I had to talk through it. A lot of people don't know that I was depressed. A lot of people just think I'm like, always happy. But it's because the difference is for me personally is I choose to be happy now. Back then chose for I chose to follow this is for me, not for you. I chose to live behind the excuses of my past and, growing up and everything else and letting this be the dictator of my future. But in reality, I chose that. So as I began to talk through it and I realized, wait a second, it's all choice. Like every feeling I feel, like people, and I'm very close to people and I talk to them, and people will say to you, you made me feel this way. But no one can make you feel anything. I don't care what you think. People can do stuff to you and you can react to that. But no one can make you feel as an individual anyway, except for you.
Yes.
So when I figured that out, I was like, wait a second. If it's all me and it's all choice, then I can choose differently. So I made a different choice. And so I didn't worry about anybody else and I moved forward to myself. And so now I'm like, I like that. I'm purposely positive because that's a choice of mine because I know what it felt
I like that.
to be sad.
Purposely
And I
positive.
came up with
I
that.
like that. No, it's good. That's
Purposely
good.
positive.
That's
And
good.
so by making that choice, it has improved and increased my life because the sadness and depression, what it likes to do is it likes to lock you down. And it means that you cannot connect. We're humans who want to connect. That's what we do.
I'm all about the PP. Purposely positive.
Oh yeah.
God, come on.
I don't know what you're doing this restaurant. I don't know. Things taste great. I don't ask questions, but yes, purposely
But
positive.
I think also the busier you are, you don't have to think about the depression part.
That's true.
Because like when I was going to
Distractions are
when I
big.
was going to the chamber meetings and stuff, and it was okay, but it was boring because yes, they network, but not really. People next to you gonna say, "Hey, what do you do?" Me, "Hey, what do you do?" I always have to be the instigator to find out what other people do. Everybody's sitting on the table going,
Yeah.
Well, that's why I told you, like I told you yesterday, I don't script anything. We live in a world where everybody copy paste everything. One thing about our restaurant, about ourselves, about everything I strive to do, I try to keep it original.
I like that.
I love ChatGPT only because I can give it my ideas and it can help me create them. But at least I know I'm not taking nobody else's. I'm creating something with something else that just saves me time.
I love that.
And I do. Like she asked me the other day, she goes, or 2 weeks ago, she goes, why don't we do those Sora videos, those AI videos? Because everyone's doing it.
Everybody.
I don't want to do it. I said if I get to it.
"No, I want to do our own video."
Yeah, but I like, and I told her, I said, I like doing our own stuff. I always have. I just that if we go too far into the AI creating everything digitally, then you're losing from yourself even more. I'd rather stay original. At the house, I got vinyls, I got books, I got VHS tapes. I'm all about originality because we live in a world where we don't own anything anymore. Everything is streamed.
See, that's
everything.
the difference between us. I told you I'm a minimalist. He's a order.
I lost a lot to a fire,
Yeah.
but I just started doing it again. I said I can't help it because these are some things that are one day are not going to be around, especially like vinyls and VHSs. Like they're just not, and even books. I feel like one day are just not going to be around, and because you got guys like Elon and all that saying the future. He said 10 years this won't be around.
Yeah.
This will be nothing. So and I agree. I agree.
I watched a zombie movie that said, "What is this?" And it was a VHS. What do we do with this?
Well, when I worked at GameStop, this was back 17 years ago, 16 years ago, and this was when things first started becoming kind of digital, and when red boxes first came out and stuff. And I told them then, I said, you're not going to own these things one day. And they all laughed at me. I said, GameStop's not going to be a thing one day. I know they still are, but
Well, I mean, that's because
yeah, but
yeah,
because of retro stuff,
Yeah.
But I said, one day you're not going to own it. They said, what do you mean by that? I said, one day you're just going to own the thing, like these games that we like. I just spent $40 on a game and downloaded it on my system, right? I own that game until the company decides they don't want to leave that game there no more.
It's gone.
Because every game you play now, just like every app you download, you have to scroll and you accept it. And I almost guarantee in that little scroll it says you do not own this. You just own this.
You ever read that stuff?
No, because
No.
they do it on purpose. They know
do.
you're not going to
They
read
do
it.
on purpose.
Yeah. I do like that they do allow or not allow you now, and you could still continue using whatever if you even say I usually say no. I'm like, no, I'm not allowing you. I don't know what you say, but if you're asking me, that means there's something in there I don't want to agree to. Because it's just the life we live, and I'm not big on materialistic possession. I'm big on vintage materialistic percentage nostalgia. It's just because we're from the 80s and stuff, and it's the last great era, man. It's the era before change.
Man.
We went out. Mom used to let me go outside till the lights went out, and then I'd come home after the lights went out.
Be back inside.
But it was fine. It was safe. Now I could never. You just could never because it's just so scary out there.
It's different.
And it's not that it's scary. It's just that it's just different. It's just that people have changed. And
I'm not changing subject, but I'm just going through your page. I'm stalking you right now.
No, okay. While you do that, I'm gonna ask you to do
but
something.
I love this.
Oh,
Christopher Bennett, you posted one of his stuff, and it said, "Why being good doesn't get you into heaven." That is so good.
Yeah, people think that.
That
Like
is
if
so
I'm a good
Yeah.
person, I can go to heaven.
Yeah, I gotta
But
do all the good stuff.
that's not what it said. Like if you read anything, like it's very deliberately saying, I don't care if you're good, because we're all born with a certain amount of sin, no matter what happens.
We're all born good, but you're right.
I mean, I be doing things, what I'm saying, and I know I be doing things. So, it's not about the goodness of that. It's much more than that. You got to accept Jesus if you want it. You got.
Well, people know. I tell this all the time. If you do something and you feel any sort of guilt automatically from it, it's wrong. Like if you feel guilty and you know it's bad, there shouldn't be a second thought of continuing on because right then and there, something about it's not right. So why are you even entertaining that thought?
Is this your mind flow game?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Mind flow, cash flow.
You
know where her mind's at.
That's let me see that group. That was actually the first one of the last, the newest first. That's the first of the newest editions. Yeah. And actually, I'll show you this one since we're showing pictures of that.
That looks like fun.
It's so fun. Why don't you guys come tonight?
I can, but she's more than welcome to.
It's in O'Fallon. Come on down. You're invited.
Yeah, we're open till 8. Why not? Just go down there.
It's gonna be a good time.
I have tape to leave them alone.
Depends how busy we are.
Yeah.
I mean, beat us up, guys. I'd rather be busy.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're not
So let me
busy,
show you
I
this picture since we're showing pictures. That's the last one I did.
Okay.
The reason that this picture, and I haven't posted this one yet, the reason this picture is so big, I'm gonna show everybody here. Can I get it?
Yep.
Is it showing?
Yeah, showing.
It's kind of got a glare.
There you go. Hold on.
There you go.
Okay. The reason that that's so big is you see those two black people?
Yep.
Those are my parents.
Nice.
Seriously?
Yes, that's my
that's
parents.
cool.
My mom and my dad right there.
Beautiful.
I got a chance to
Oh my
play with
God.
them. So
That's
that means a
awesome.
lot to me.
That's awesome.
To be able to sit down with them and to play this game that means so much to me. So yeah, since you're going through and stalking, might as well say I haven't posted.
And if we have it,
Yeah.
and if we don't go, then you, like I said, bring it here.
It's
Bring
funny
it
when I
here.
come back in December I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Where are you going
I'm
next? Because
Oh,
he told me yesterday.
I gotta-
He said, when's my debut? I said, you could come tomorrow or next week. I said, not the 19th. He said, well, let's do this week. I'm out of town. Where are you going next?
I'm going to Florida, man.
Ooh.
I'm flying to Florida.
Everybody's going to Florida except for me.
So I love kickball. Like I really love this game. Like I've been an athlete all my life. It's all I've ever really known. I've done some thought process about why sports is so important to me, and I think it's one of the pieces that growing up as a kid, I was not the most well-behaved kid, but sports was always something I received accolades in. So I think it's that aspect that I've always received positive praise when I play sports. At least not from the other team, but positive praise from like my teammates and people watching. Oh, you did a good job. So it makes me want to stay in it. But
Hell yeah, no, good for you.
I'm great at it.
That's
I'm
great.
freaking amazing at it. And so I'm going to Florida. I'm playing in one of the tournaments and just going out there.
Look at that.
Body can
Part of
still do it.
Florida.
West Palm.
Look
Nice.
at that, everybody. 40-year-old man,
42.
42-year-old man, gonna go play in a kickball tournament
Own them.
in Florida
And own them.
while you guys are all working.
I chose that night. I really did. Okay, cool. I can actually show this. So what's really funny, so check this out. I don't know if I showed you this, but I actually, if you look at your shirt right
Oh,
now,
I love that.
if you look at your shirt right now, your shirt will show you who you work for. Some of you got Nike, Under Armour, some other random brand, but I I wanted to work for myself. I wanted me on my chest. I can have Tommy Hilfiger,
Yeah,
Polo, and everything,
yeah.
but why not have me on my chest?
Yeah.
No, I love
Let
it.
me act, let me do me on my chest. So I
Yeah.
want to be able to say that I work to do my dreams right here.
No,
And I do a lot too.
I love that about it. Listen, we're dressed up in this today, right? But yesterday I was in my restaurant attire, my thing. I could wear a jersey to work. I can wear a Hawaiian shirt to work. I could Cuban shirt to work. I can wear whatever I want to work. Sometimes this one looks at me and she goes,
Mhm.
but I can. I can wear a kilt to work, and I do.
You should. You should always wear a kilt to work when working in the
You can
kitchen.
Maybe
always,
it's a little
you
warmer.
can always bring Cashville down to Miami.
I'm not mad at that. I'll travel
Because
with
I'll
you
tell
again.
you what, there's people down there. I used to run with a lot of Miami crowds that long ago, and people were always so encouraging and so positive, and they just got this mindset that they're gonna win no matter what.
I love that. And Marlene taught me a lot. She's actually
Yeah.
an instructor, like a licensed instructor of the game or something. She has a title, so
Nice.
that's
So-
why she does it. She navigates it so perfectly.
Right.
I've learned so much.
I got 3 minutes I want to play with basically, but I would love to have this what's her name?
Marlene,
Marlene, maybe convince her to come out here and be on the
Marlene,
podcast, and I would love to talk to her. Have you both on here. I like you,
you
know.
think I talk a lot?
Hey.
Marlene, she's a monster. Like she's got so much information. It's crazy.
That's great.
It's great.
I love like I said, love the positivity. I
like
love
her
it all.
already.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, Havana
Oh,
1961.
we're done.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100 Main Street. We
We'll have to
got
bring him back again. and do
yeah,
this again.
absolutely. He might be a regular. You never know.
Facts.
I
He could be our third person.
I,
We're looking for
I
a third
have been looking
person.
for a third person. If you're interested, I kind of already knew this months ago, but once we actually started doing it, I was waiting to ask you because, like I said, I don't stalk you. I just you pop up on my feed more than most people because the people that post a lot of their lives show up on. I only have 120 something friends on my. One thing about my Facebook, the people on my Facebook, I know.
That's cool.
That's it. I keep it very low. I'm a very private person, except for the stuff that I do publicly, and I don't mind talking about it. But my Facebook is very light on the people because I physically have to know you for you to really be on there. It's very few people I don't physically know, and there's gamer buddies and stuff like that. But yeah, you're one of the people that post a lot, and your life is so just all over the place and entertaining in a way because I look at
Yeah.
my. I wish I was in Texas right now eating some ribs. I wish I was doing this right now.
I posted
You
so
know,
people can live. Or I posted so people can give them permission for themselves to live. If
Yeah.
that makes any, if
no,
that might
yeah,
make more sense.
yeah.
They can live through you, but yet find their way out.
Yes, they
Yeah.
just need to know it's
They
possible.
know that it's
sometimes.
possible.
Well, and that's like you said, having that freedom. That's another thing I love that what I do. Anytime I'm invited, like I have a friend say, hey, I'm going on a road trip, and stuff like that. I'm usually even when I don't, I'm gone broke because I'm okay with it. I can eat ramen, I can eat this as long as I get to go on the trip. I'm cool with it. I don't turn down opportunities very much, not very much.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I try to say yes to almost everything that pops. I had no idea what this is going to be.
A lot of people don't know that. The more you say yes, you'll be surprised. Something I'm literally teaching my son here the last few weeks. I said, don't miss opportunities because of what other people tell you. Don't let somebody get in your ear and say, yeah, but blah 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 blah, and then you're like, you know what, you're right, and then you miss an opportunity.
Also, don't let your past make decisions for your future because your past only knows a certain amount of knowledge of where it's been. It
Yeah.
has no idea where you're supposed to go.
That's true.
All right, Mom, come on, you gotta finish
Oh, you just change the camera.
finishing this out.
No, I love having you on here. You're amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank
I
you
love
for having me.
following you, man.
Feel free to follow me. It's
I
like
do.
I said, it's funny because my profile's open for that exact purpose.
Yeah.
So I have nothing to hide. People
Yeah.
can follow me. They can look at my stuff. I want them to.
Yeah.
And maybe eventually I'll get back into posting about what I believe. Like there's so many good videos I did. One of my favorites is the math video. And so when I tell people, it's like, okay, so let's do some math. You want to do some math before we get off? Can we do some math?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. So if we're gonna do some math, so if I 1 + 1 = what?
2.
2. Very simple. Okay. So when we're using math and we're adding something to our life, right? We're creating value. Okay. But on the opposite side, if we are taking away value, 1 - 1 is what?
0.
0, right? But what about 1 + 0?
1.
It's 1. So we're either in 3 stages of our life. We're either adding value to our lives that increase what we're
Right.
doing, we're subtracting things from our lives that decrease what we want, or we're doing nothing and we stay exactly the same. And I don't think people want to pay attention to the fact that if you do nothing, there is no value created. There's value in adding something, reading a book, going to a cash flow game, listening to a podcast. There's value. But if you don't, if we don't take the time to kind of put ourselves in a position, then nothing changes.
I go to this cash flow thing and I like it. I'm gonna be all over it every time we do a podcast.
Hey,
Hey. I hope you do love it. I love it so much.
I think it'd be good for you. I think this is great. I think. Thank you for coming. And
Yeah.
like I said, I
Love having you.
become a regular on us.
I'm down.
You
man.
know,
because I have nothing to do. No, I'm kidding. I just do what I want. And
You
so
do
if I
what you
what I
want.
This is
So-
only once a week, so
Yeah, we
once
do this.
every
We
2 weeks.
try to do this on Fridays. It's 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every,
right,
for
once
every 2 weeks. It might become more. Yeah. This is good. All right.
Well, I'll tell you this before I leave, because I promise you, I tell you what I do
Oh yeah.
really quick. So I'm a
What
DJ.
I want. Okay. Now. Click.
I do.
Top.
What I want. So I'm a DJ. I do weddings. I've been doing weddings for about 20,
Wow.
25 years. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Weddings. Now I have a roofing company where I do roofs. So
Wow.
when the hail
Nice.
drops, I'm out there with the door knockers. I do that because I want them to have a reliable, safe place
Right.
where they can trust, and to fix their roof. I'm getting into the real estate investing. I actually have my real estate license.
Nice.
I also have my teaching license.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Oh, I got to go through the stuff. I actually just went to a convention and learned how to sell solar because of the incentives that were
Yeah.
here.
Seen that. Yeah.
See, hold on. I have a credit repair business. I have a funding business where I help people fund their personal and business lives.
Right.
Okay.
And there's something else I do. But anyways, that's the equivalent.
Everything. Yeah.
But it's all designed about the aspect of helping people.
Yeah, no, nothing
So,
wrong with
When I
that.
realized that all these things I do are under okay, I'm just helping someone, then that means they can all fall underneath my Tunstall Industries, because that's what I want to do.
You're an umbrella.
I'm an umbrella.
You're an umbrella.
I'll be back
and
in
it
a
all
No, we're cutting it
connects.
off. You
Yeah, we're
just stay
done.
right. We're done.
I'm done
Your
talking.
umbrella. All right. It was nice having you guys, or thank you for
Thank you
joining
very
us.
much. I
You
appreciate
get don't.
Mira, ven acá, pull up a chair. From the kitchen and above, pulling close, mi vida, hear the laughter in the air. Lady has got the wisdom, and she's got pride. It's serving conversations where every tale is fried with life. So take a seat, relax, and stay, 'cause Mama Maria's got something to say. Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. From the kitchen and above, pulling close, mi vida, hear the laughter in the air. 'Cause Mama Maria's got the wisdom, and she's got pride. It's serving conversations where every tale is fried with light. So take a seat, relax, and stay, 'cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say. 'Cause Mama Maria's got something to say.